On you. Just go. Will you please go? Go.
Welcome to Spin the Rack. We're here, and we're talking about the ridiculous changes that have been made for the DC Universe based on the gigantic failure that was Batman vs. Superman. You see Ben Affleck over here.
Nearly $900 million.
Jeff Johns over here. What are these guys going to do to improve what's going to happen since Justice League is supposed to come out
Oscar winner.
next year? We had an Oscar winner in Chris Terrio, and what did he do? Nothing. Nothing. Look, DC, here's what you need to do, okay? I'm sorry.
Are you going to introduce us? Are you going to ask us any questions?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. Right over here, we got a guy here who doesn't count, okay? Because he's too firmly wedged up the back sphincter. So forget about him.
Talking about the guy who's wearing the S on his
Over
chest?
here,
Come on.
okay? Got the Prime Minister, Petey. Petey does all the cuts. Everything goes through Petey. Petey is the man. Petey has read comic books as long as I have, if not longer. This is the historian. All due respect to Petey. Big business. We're gonna beat the natural crap out of big business with this show. So let's go.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
So,
nothing is gonna happen with these changes. Nothing.
well, let's explain
Absolutely nothing.
What's the changes again? What are the changes happen? What happened? Well, Zack Snyder is not the executive anymore.
No.
He's still one of the executives.
Okay, I'll feel this one.
Thank you.
Zack Snyder is an executive producer, okay, for the upcoming Justice League movie. Zack Snyder's wife is also an executive producer.
I didn't know that.
For the upcoming Justice League movie. Mm-hmm. Now they're telling us, well, we made Ben Affleck an executive producer. What does that mean? It means absolutely nothing, because an executive producer can't tell another executive producer what to do. They have to work in conjunction with each other. Now we're hearing that Jeff Johns, not just Jeff Johns. Who's the guy they put on with him?
Oh, I don't know the other guy's name.
He's a co-runner now,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole thing of a co-runner is supposed to be supposed to make certain that everything runs smoothly. Mm-hmm. This train is already off the rails.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing that runs smoothly anymore, and it would be something if Justice League was not coming out next year, but it's coming out next year. They already started filming. So how much change can they actually honestly tell us that they're going to do? Yeah. This is the same malarkey that they said for Batman vs. Superman. Man of Steel was terrible. They said, don't worry. We're putting Chris Terrio on the script. Oscar winner. He did Argo. Everything's going to be good. He's going to polish it. He's going to polish it up. What do we got? We got a nice, shiny turd. That's what we got in Batman vs. Superman. This is not going to make any difference whatsoever. Zack Snyder, Ben Affleck's going to come over to Zack Snyder and say, hey, Zack Snyder, see what you did over here? I don't like what you did. You need to change it. You know what Zack Snyder's going to say? Go to hell, Ben Affleck. This is my film, my vision. That's what's going to happen. End of story. Then his wife is going to come in the room and say, hey, Ben Affleck, why don't you treat your wife the way that Zack Snyder treats me, with bleeding respect. Now get yourself out of here and go sleep with your nanny. That's exactly what's going to happen.
So hold on. So I'm going to tell you 2 words about him. Batman hater. And so
what does that have to do with
all
us?
we know is that he is all his entire vision and ideas. If it was Superman, it'll be a different story. He'll be bringing it up.
You're kidding.
He'll be saying,
I hated the Superman film.
Well,
I hated the Superman film. What does that have to do with anything?
All I'm saying
this
is
is terrible.
The modern movie process is not made. You don't film a film on the green screen and everything is
you mean the green screen like we're doing right here?
Where is he going?
Like we're doing right here.
Can I finish what I'm going to say?
This isn't real.
What I'm trying to
That's
say
a green
is that-
screen.
What I'm trying to say is
That's a green screen.
Elements are taken out of context and then put together like a building blocks. So we don't know exactly those images behind there, the way they're working, the actors.
No.
You don't know. It can build the story.
How is it going to make this better? How is it going to make it better? That's what we need to know.
What I'm trying to say is the story can be molded into whatever we want, so long as we have a good story. You're going to see the whole film, and you're going to choose what parts of the film you want.
No.
And you know
you are firmly wedged up the back sphincter, man. You
Pause. It's okay. It's okay.
You had to put it there, Mario?
I was doing the clock. Can you grab it right there? So, I'll call you back, son. I got to rock, okay? No, the car is right in front. Are you guys calling me for that?
It's staying in there.
You were saying that I was right in what I was saying, and therefore
You need to
make
unwedge yourself from the sphincter of the bat, okay? It's time.
It's the best-selling title. It's the best-selling title in DC.
That's not what we're talking about. That is not what we're talking about. You already had your shot. You already had your shot.
You started out with your shot.
Nonsense. You already had your shot with that nonsense. They put Batman in the film. The film underperformed. They put Batman in the film. They still didn't come up even. Now
they put Batman in the film. The film performed.
This starts with Man of Steel.
Superman in the film. They underperformed. That's the problem.
Are you kidding me?
They didn't make as much profit. Didn't make as much profit as Man of Steel.
Because Superman brought him down.
I thought Batman was supposed to bring him up.
It's the Batman movie, so when you bring an outside element, that's the one that brought it down.
You are full of cake, okay?
Oh my
You understand what I mean?
You know what? Let's talk to someone who's reasonable in all this. P-Money?
Okay.
Let's have your 1 or 2 cents.
I forget you, man. This is exactly what the problem is. They did Man of Steel, and that was a terrible film. They decided, we're not going to try to improve on this.
Wait a second. I just want to add in that they added, I'm not going to attack Jeff Johns too bad. I'm going to say they put in Jeff Johns just to say that, hey, we're going to try to get it right. But there's no reason for them to change, to make actual changes to get rid of Zack Snyder. That's what
they can't do that at this point.
They haven't done that. They're not ready to make change. They only want to put someone in there.
This is like, get rid of Zack Snyder. What's going to happen?
I totally disagree.
All your investors are going to jump ship because they're going to say, okay, if you got rid of the director, there's a really big systemic problem.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but your problem starts with Man of Steel. Your problem starts with Man of Steel. That was a poor film. It was a poor film. Everybody said it was a poor film. And what did they do? Did they say, okay, no, we need to stop right here and we need to right the ship? No, they let Zack Snyder continue and they said, here's what we'll do. We'll shore it up. We're going to throw Batman in there. We'll throw some other characters in there. We'll bring on some person over here.
They'll throw in some emails.
Yeah, we'll do all of that.
Other heroes, right?
And that's going to shore up the whole thing. And you bought it. You were right. Drinking on the Kool-Aid over here like, yeah, Batman comes in here, we got $1 billion, baby. It's a Batman world, baby. It's a Batman world, baby. And your Batman world didn't work. Now, who you got? You got Ben Affleck over here. He's going to be an executive producer. Here's a history lesson for you. Smallville. Tom Welling was an executive producer on Smallville.
Are we serious?
Are you going to listen or not? Tom Welling was an executive producer on Smallville. This guy has for years said, hey, I couldn't wear the suit. I couldn't wear the Superman suit because the producers didn't want it. He was an executive producer. He didn't want to do it, and this guy's put it on the executive producer. No executive producer can force another one to do something that they don't want to do. He never wanted to do it in the first place, so he just went along with it. End of story. If he did want to do it, they would have had to go along with it. If Zack Snyder, who's an executive producer, and his wife, who is an executive producer, say this is the vision and this is the road that we want to go, guess what's going to happen? They're going to do it. And Ben Affleck is going to do this. He's going to sit back. He's going to take a pose and say, okay, I can survive this. So bringing on Ben Affleck doesn't mean anything.
Are you finished with your soliloquy?
No, I'm not finished with my soliloquy. I'm not even starting. I haven't scratched it. I haven't scratched the tip of the iceberg.
You can talk all you want. But
now, you bring in Jeff Johns. And who is Jeff Johns? Jeff Johns used to be a guy that you could trust in terms of, look, this guy likes the comics, he wants the comics, he's trying to bring them forward, until he became the company man when they slapped him with the title. Now what has he done? What has he done for us? He did Flashpoint. You're telling me the guy who did Flashpoint is going to come over here and write this ship? You're telling me the guy who was over here behind all this stuff? Of course you like Flashpoint, because you haven't read a comic book since the Micronauts. That's why you like Flashpoint. You don't know anything different. So now you're telling me the guy who comes over here, the guy who's responsible for the story that starts in New 52 and has written so much dreck for the New 52 and has come out to be the face of recalcitrance, the face of contrition. Please come back to DC. Please come back to DC. We're sorry about what it did. Yeah, he was the lead writer. The blood is all over your hands. And this guy's going to come over here and write the ship? You've got to be kidding me. You'd have to be less than intelligent. And that's a kind way of me saying stupid to believe that you're going to get anything different. This film comes out next year. Next year.
Okay, so let's give, I'm going to just mediate this one part.
And another thing.
No, let Mario have at least a couple minutes to make your point. Right? Make your point.
I got one word.
Are you asking me to be nice?
Just for you.
One word.
No, if you give one word, he's going to attack you right after that.
Yeah, I'm going to yoke you.
Take the 2 minutes.
I will yoke you. I'm not playing.
Figure out what you have to say.
I'm not being metaphorical. I will physically yoke you.
Take 2 or 3 minutes.
And I got 16-inch biceps. It will hurt.
We got about 7-8 minutes left. So take 2 minutes to make a statement.
I'm going to make to the audience here, a reasonable audience. Not the Superman News audience over here, but a reasonable audience that we're talking to. That in this show, Time Warner has seen the success that BBS has had, okay, and they're going to build upon that, and that is why that's why they're bringing on additional hardcore talented executive producers. You know, John for comic continuity, and
And Ben
and Batman Affleck, who has won an Oscar, I remind you. Not, you know, that's the top, the epitome. You know, his performance in the movie was well received. All right, was he not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't like it. I even like some of it. It was got.
His performance was well received because he didn't screw it up. That's it. He
Okay.
didn't do anything.
So I have no problems with this movie doing well. I know it's going to do well.
You're talking about Justice. You're talking about Justice League.
We're talking about Batman.
No. We're
He's
done
already
with that.
moved on. You've moved on. You don't even care about the Justice League movie, right?
We're done with that.
If Batman is in it, it's a hit. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's a hit.
Batman was in this and it wasn't a hit.
It was a hit.
No, it wasn't.
How do you have $1 billion movie and it's not a hit?
All right,
Because it
here
didn't
it
make $1 billion.
goes.
Oh my gosh. It's almost 900 million plus all the other ancillary
No,
revenues.
wait,
It's going to
wait,
make
wait,
over
wait,
$1 billion. It's going to be a profitable.
$870 million.
It's gonna be a profitable movie.
$870 million.
Marvel's had almost 10 years to get itself up together.
Say it. $870 million. Do not come over here on the camera and lie to the people. $870 million.
Who gave you the 870
You
million?
did.
I did, exactly.
You did.
So I'm just
$870 million.
almost $900 million. Plus the TV rights, the foreign rights.
Is this
DVD
going to help
rights.
it or not,
This is all gonna
Mario?
make money.
Is this change
Yes,
going to
it's
help
going to
it?
help.
How's it gonna help it?
It's going to.
How's it gonna help
give
it?
additional creative.
Yeah. Additional creative malarkey.
creative.
It made $870 million. That is not almost $900 million. That's not even
No
almost.
matter what
That's
the
not even almost
Superman
890.
news crew says, you know, no matter how they paint it, they're just
The
afraid.
Superman
that-
homepage. It's
See,
not like the Batman. What's the Batman
News.
Batman News.
was
It's
creating,
homepage.
they were creating their own news. They were creating their own news.
The Superman fans
no,
are so-
I got a
so-
question for you.
so
I got a
Superman fans
no,
are so-
I have
are so
a
hard-
real question for you. I got a real question for you, and I'm asking you this as a fellow, okay? As a fellow for the Spinner Rack, okay? Why do you persist to defend a film that is so obviously bad, that has failed on every single metric level that we would use to assess it? Why do you insist on defending this piece of scat? Why?
First of all, it's not a piece of scat. Okay, let's just get that out. Let's not use those derogatory terms. All right. If you're going to be a professional,
Just
here,
answer my question.
I'm going to tell you, it's not that bad. It really isn't. I watched it again, and it's really not that bad.
You watched it again?
Yes, I watched it again.
But it has. It's
You did
bad,
not watch this
though.
again.
Yes, I did.
It's
With who?
not good. It's not necessarily good.
With who? Who did you watch it again with?
I watched it by myself.
When?
I'm not done.
Do you just watch the Batman scenes and throw everything else
That's what
out?
everything else.
You went to the movie theater and you set your phone on an alarm so it could wake you up when the Batman scenes came on, and you went back to sleep for the rest?
I saw the Batman film. Sorry, I saw the whole film.
This is a
what
But
I'm-
you
what
didn't
I'm-
care about anything else but the Batman scene, so it's a good movie as
I
far as
thought the
Batman.
I thought the Batman scenes were very good. I thought the Wonder Woman scenes were a bit lacking, and the Superman scenes could have been kept out. The Lex Luthor was probably one of the worst parts of the whole film, using a Superman villain. If they would
So
use the
all you
Batman
liked was
villain,
Batman.
no, I like
You
the.
didn't say you liked anything else.
That's
I
all
like
that's
the
left.
overall strategy that Lex
come
Luthor had
on.
when he
I
destroyed
think
the
you've been
Capitol.
drinking. I think you've been drinking too much of Granny's peach tea.
Oh my goodness! Look,
Granny's
all I'm going to
peach
say
tea.
is the proof is going to be in the pudding. They put more powers here. You know what I'm trying to say?
He's using it against you. He's using Batman versus Superman against you.
And it's going to do well. There's no way. First of all, let's admit it. There's no way the Superman franchise is being revived after this.
No.
Okay. So,
Because they killed
but
him.
exactly. But
They didn't just kill him; they killed Clark Kent as well.
the thing
Yeah,
you got to
that's bad.
understand is that the Batman franchise will continue. Out of the ashes of all this, it will
I
continue.
guess that's the only way. This is the only way he can win. You got it. Batman will continue because that's all they care about.
Exactly.
And Superman will continue eventually after this is all done.
Eventually. Well, another 20 years,
And-
30 years.
No. Once it's because they have to wrap this all up. Their whole timeline for this is really another 3 years. That's when all these films will come out. They have done it. They're going to wrap everything up, and they didn't start well. Okay, they didn't start well. Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman.
But you're
didn't start
asking them you're asking them to do what Marvel did. They're trying to combine everything.
Take
and
the
build
movies
everything.
that you do, cut out all the crappy budget, and then you can use the $800 million with a $100 million budget. There's a ton of waste in those movies.
Yeah.
Even if they were bad, cut out all the crap.
But the company
and you
needs to make money. They need to charge
cut
double
the crap-
for the lotto for the animation.
the crap
They
out of
charge
those movies, and you gotta
Here's what-
successful
here's what
movies.
for
It costs money. They gotta make their money back.
You know where
before they
DC?
get to-
You know where
Oh,
DC is
God.
really kicking butt right now on television.
Yes.
They have every night to
Johnson's
themselves.
was involved
Okay,
with that. Yeah.
Yes.
they have every night. Okay, with the exception of Friday, Monday through Thursday. Now they move Supergirl over.
Yep.
They're planning a 4-way crossover with all of
Oh,
these
yeah.
films.
Mhm.
People are looking
Wow.
forward to it. Who's the big
They're
guy? Who's the
introducing
big guy?
JSA also.
Oh yeah.
Who's the big guy? The Flash. Okay, he's the big guy. The Flash. the series has been critically acclaimed. Fans like it. From the first season, everybody's gotten very well invested into it. Do you say, hey, we already got some guy who's got a good following over here. Let's bring him into the movie universe, make him a part
we're not
of it,
going into that
and do that.
argument.
No, we're not going to do that.
Let's
We're
hold
gonna give
that
it to
for the
someone
next
else.
segment.
That's where you're making your mistakes.
You know what? We have to do a flash segment. That's the next
That's
segment.
where you're making your mistakes.
Let's do that for the next segment, okay?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, BVS. Spin rack out.
God.
Yeah, well.